How's it going, guys? My name is Alex.
Good evening, good afternoon.
And welcome to a beginner guide. I'm going to be talking about eFootball on mobile and on console. I'm going to be actually navigating through a tablet interface just because the game is just so outdated. At least we have a home button over here and I can quickly navigate through the menus. I'm going to be talking about all the events, all the in-game currencies, the match pass, whether it is worth it. I'm going to be covering briefly the events that you would want to play and the team that you want to build with the players that you're getting for free, whether it should be spent in coins, in-game money, whether it is rewarded or not. So let's start with something that is you're getting greeted by every day when you're logging in. That's why it's recommended to log in every day. You're getting some free stuff. And this week, for instance, you're getting coins, right? Every day you log in, you're getting like 50, 40 coins, which is nice because 100 coins gives you a chance on to open one of these packs. And this is where you're getting a guaranteed player from Player of the Week packs, which are dropped every Thursday. Champions League packs are also dropped when the Champions League games are played in the previous week. There are some premium cards, which are mostly oriented towards like Japanese audience or people who collect in Japanese cards. And there are some packs like this, which is obviously you still have a chance to open someone, which I tried. My luck, I didn't get one. And 150 players. These are not doubling, so if you're opening a card like Rafael Leao and you get in that card, that means that it is being eliminated from the pack until you reset it, but you need to like go through some effort to reset it. Don't reset your packs. And then you're getting like 149 players that are left in the pack, and there is closer to your goal of packing Nesta, Costa Curta, whatever the player is going to be in that respective pack. These Brazilian events as well, they used to be events when you had to use Brazilian players, but I just don't spot them. I'm in European server, and that is where I think you are... I don't think that there is any need to sign IDs unless Konami is dropping these events. These players, I made builds, training guides. Obviously, you can train players to your taste, and auto-allocating still is decent, but you would want to maybe just cater these stats to your needs, what you're gonna be doing with these players. So these players are nice, and there is nominating contract, which you're getting from the match pass, and sometimes you're getting from just by logging in, I think, or some certain events. But I would recommend you to sign players based on what you're dealing with already, and there are some good players in this pack too, so I'm going to be covering that in a second. Also, when the specs are dropped every month, once a month, I'm talking about them on my channel, so make sure to subscribe. But what you're also doing every day, except for logging in, you're playing this daily game, and Konami may change this in the future, but it hasn't changed for like a year now, so I think it's going to be very relevant for this eFootball 2025, or like the season that they are calling Update 3.4. On mobile, it is pretty straightforward, and I noticed that on console too. If goalkeeper is guessing, most likely you're not scoring a penalty. So there is like 33% chance, I guess, right? The goalkeeper guessing, you have two options to go for, which are not the ones that goalkeeper is jumping. So let's take it to the left now, and goalkeeper is saving that. And the funny thing is, like, goalkeeper jumped to the left 3 times in a row, so they changed the pattern. But don't worry, you're still gonna be progressing. And this is where during every time, like during this lap, at the end of the lap and in the middle of the lap, you're getting some reward. So the reward currently that you get is either this pack with some featured cards and some legendary double booster cards, which I'm going to be covering in a second. Which, in addition to the stats, these are base stats, you're going to be training these cards and getting the stats improved. And then you get additional booster slot, which you can improve with the booster item that you also get during the game when you either discard players or when you are completing the missions. So these cards are actually very good. Last season there were fantastic cards. Now it is Ribery, who is actually very nice too. But also there is this Tony Adams, who is fantastic. So yeah, so I didn't score my penalty, unfortunately, but it's all good. I still progress. It's just like not progress as fast as I could. Right now we have the startup campaign, and that is where you're getting players by just logging in, by completing the events. And there are some very nice players in this packs, which are instantly entering many people starting 11. For instance, this Kunde. And this is where you want to build your team based off like your most powerful available players. And also you want to ensure that your players who are starting have like at least B condition. maybe C is also possible. Why it is important and why all my legends are at B condition? Just because this is how it works. So that's why having a lot of legends is nice for a team, so you can introduce them in case your regular player have bad form. Players with C condition, D condition and E condition have a higher chance of getting a red or even yellow arrow is not that preferable to have in your team. Just because when they have that arrow pointing downwards, you are in a position where Konami is not showing that, but most likely the player will perform bad. His overall stats are like, not overall it will be the same and the stats will be displayed the same. They used to show it in the previous games, but now they stopped showing that. So somehow the stats are gonna be downgraded and player will perform bad, he'll be out like always feeling like he's not positioned well. If that's a defender, he's gonna be like letting the ball go through his legs maybe. So it's gonna be very painful, so that's why it's nice to have legends on your team who always have their condition set to B, which means the worst they can get is yellow arrow. And obviously what I do is you also go to filter, you go to your team and see what players are in the current environment are in A condition. You sort them and you can see that currently I have this amount of players who will always get at least a greenish arrow before the start of the game in that given week. The conditions are updated, except for the legendary cards, are updated every Thursday, and that is why going for player of the week pack is nice, and you also get free tries for that, so you don't even need to spend coins on it. Events versus AI is where you're grinding this without even applying any effort, most likely, or these are like easy difficulty, and you just score one goal and just like let the tablet do its thing, and you will be most likely winning the game. I'm simming these games on legendary difficulty, I'm getting the items. For instance, legendary difficulty, which means that even if you're losing, you're gaining like 700 to 800 points, and this is national teams event. There's Italian events, there's Spanish event, there's English event, which means that you would want to have players from Premier League, from Spain, and at the end, after you simmed all your games, you're getting a free try, as you can see on the player of the week pack, which I tried my luck, I did get a player, and this is where it's nice to have few game plans where you're building a team around a certain league, for instance, Premier League, right? So this is where I have players from the Premier League in this team, and eventually when I pack a player or Konami gives me a player for free, I train that player and I build a team around them. This is just for my purposes, Manchester United. There's no Manchester United events as of now, and for instance Italian team as well. So when I am entering this AI event, I'm switching the team plan before starting that sim in that event, so that I'm getting maximum multiplier due to the fact that I'm using Italian players or Spanish players or English players for that matter. There used to be Turkish and Brazilian events and Japanese events, but Konami just like stopped giving for instance, I'm in Europe, Konami stopped giving these to European players. Also, there is a new event about Smart Assist, and this is nice just because you're getting free coins for just playing these games. These are online games, and Smart Assist is very kind of questionable functionality. They are just testing it and improving it, so we are the testing subjects, and they want to see what do we think about that. These are my settings, just in case. I'm controlling my players using virtual pad. I used to play with touch and flick previously, and it also is very viable option to play the game. Some people who are like very good, like they have YouTube channels, they still play that. I just decided to switch to classic controls, which is virtual pad, since I can chip the ball easier and perform stunning lofted through balls easier. That is what I was kind of struggling, just because it took me like 4 actions, and just because there is natural input delay in the game, you're struggling at like when you want to actually execute an action, you need to form 4 different swipes, and it just like it is possible when you're playing on the European connection, but for me, I just noticed that the ways I'm scoring goals is just so repetitive, and I wanted to diversify my content. You can still play with touch and flick, it is still nice, but just for me, I decided to switch to classic so I can chip the ball more often. Speaking of assisted cursor change, I'm experimenting, and if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, the winner of the current World Cup on mobile is using assisted. Assisted is pretty much frowned upon on console, so it is different ways, it is named differently there, For console, people play either on Pass Assistance 2 or 3, so I want to try Pass Assistance 3 on console. But this is where I usually played on manual, but I want to see if assisted is interesting. A movement input range, I think it mainly depends on whether you're playing on tablet or on mobile, whether you have a lot of real estate to swipe your finger with, and I like to play on a tablet. Kind of limits the width of pitch for me, but I definitely don't spoil my eyesight just because I don't watch at the game like this. I watch it at a distance. It is absolutely not the case. It's not a control at all on a tablet. On console. And directional stick type, for me it's movable. For people, some people like it fixed. Off is really experimental. Speaking of defending control type, I'm using standard, but pressure is also nice. It's just your preference and the way you're activating the matchup. So 2 ways to tackle people, actually 3. So that would be standard tackle by just tapping the joystick twice. You can also try to tap a little bit on the action of actual defending, like pressuring. And you obviously only just charge at people with pressure button. And you also just either, for defending, you either tap matchup or just swipe the matchup button. It's gonna be the difference if you're using the pressure star type. This is where my other settings look like. My camera type is dual, but this is only for the cinematic purposes, so that I can see sometimes players are... I can get some zoom on my players, which is nice, I think. And there you go. This is the settings. Also the currencies, right? Let's talk about the currencies. How do you get these? As you can see on the left side, I have coins. In the middle, I have GPs up there. And I get all of these in my inbox or directly allocated into my total balance over there on the left side. And yeah, as you can see, for instance, you get a free... Yeah, I missed that. I just keep these coins in my inbox so I can keep track of my free coins, so that I can improve my free team. And this is where some of these players were packed just because you guys were helping me out and sending some support during the live streams. But this is a free team. This is actually something that I like to improve, and so you can keep track on my progress. Some of these players are old, they have been carried over from past 2021, and that is before the franchise changed the name to eFootball. But most of these were like, I got them from the previous year and carried over into this year. In fact, if I just replace this with Winnie, and yeah, this can be replaced with Bellingham. So these players were obtained in the past year, and all of these are free to play. I got Bernardo Silva Showtime card from my first free try. I saved 1500 coins and I got Messi. This new Ambassador Messi, which is just a great card. Young, fast Messi, I like him. And all of the other players are pretty much free. That Baresi was from the veterans like bonus, where you got a lot of like a box with epic legendary cards and some highlight cards. And that Ribery is free. This Bellingham is an England pack for 900 coins. That manager, I bought him with saved coins. So you can see it's a fantastic team, and losing with this team would be a shame. You don't have any other excuses because it looks great. Speaking of the playstyle, the best playstyle to use is long ball counter, just because your defensive line is so deep, and if you concede less and you start a deadly counter attack, which is long ball counter, long ball, why? Just because deep defensive line, then obviously you're playing whatever, like the game rewards you, right? You score goals, you concede less, you win games. But I like to play possession just because I have full control of the game, and if I'm just like frustrating my opponents by just having a lot of possession on their part of the pitch, not passing with my goalkeeper, but that is. Yeah, so I like it, and I can create triangles. So triangles, like in real football. This is why I play this over console EAFC, over mobile EAFC is just terrible in terms of gameplay. Yeah, so I just like because I can replicate whatever is working in real football, which is kind of nice. So yeah, this is where I'm playing this formation. You can play whatever formation you want. You can copy whatever I'm doing. There are different playstyles on players, and some players are better to be used in positions like more attacking, like for instance this Bellingham. Despite having okay defensive stats, I think that his whole player playstyle is just going to be forcing him to run, and you will notice that, run in there, and you can be exposed. If you want more protection, you may want to use like Orchestrator or destroyer in position over here. And this is a box-to-box player as well. He likes to run forward, and this is where you can be exposed as well. So how to prevent that? You have that individual instruction button, which is a thing on console. On mobile it was added just recently, and this is where you probably would want to use deep line instruction on your defensive midfielder if he is not like an anchorman or a destroyer. This is where you are forcing him to jump back and help you defend when you're off the ball. As soon as your players lose possession, you just make sure that he is running back. You can also give defensive instruction to the same player, but I think it's a little bit overkill. I like my players to be involved also in passing sequences. Defensive means that he is not joining the attacks. So two different instructions help you improve your team. Also, speaking of instructions, if a player doesn't have whole player playstyle or any other playstyle, just makes runs and you feel like you're lacking these runs, especially in possession, quick counter for that purpose is probably more beneficial. But this is where you would want probably to use attacking on a player like Ribery, for instance, right? Because his natural playstyle is creative playmaker. Attacking will make him run like a whole player. Once you get possession of the ball, he's making incisive runs in behind defensive line, and this is how you're getting the most of this playstyle. So these are instructions. Anything else playstyle, you obviously can change formation by default, but you can also change formation by clicking on this button on the left. On console, you just like, I think, hold the player and just move him around, but this is where you can now position players like this. You play completely different, more attacking setup, so whatever you want. So yeah, I like playing like this. You can play like with one defender, one center back, like some crazy formations I've faced in the past few months. And you can also change the numbers. You can also change the in-match roles, and this is where I didn't really check it recently, but where you have a captain is improving players overall, like some slight boost to their stamina and some other stats. So I would be probably then maybe checking whether a player has that special skill that is called captaincy, and you can add up to 5 skills on players, by the way. And if he has that, that's fine. If he's usual starter for my team, and I can have him as a captain. So that's the basics of team building. And let's take a look at the training of players. Let's open a pack. So this is a promo that Konami is giving us. So you can see that I claimed it from my inbox. Now I can go to my contract tab, and this is where I'm opening that Barca or Bayern player. Let me see who is that. That is a campaign Barca player, and let's sign him. I think I don't really have much trainers. So this is how the pack. You see, this is where many people are like, oh, this is such a pay-to-win game. But if you're getting Kunde, that's a fantastic defender, right back for you, a defensive fullback, very, very reliable. If you get in someone like Balde, that's a very attacking fullback for you, very solid. I mean, it's just, you can make this work. Obviously, Costa Curta double booster card will be better, but I mean, that's why people invest in this game, and that's why the company is profitable. Just because the players that they offering with real money or like coins that you can grind for and save, but it's gonna be very, very difficult to expect something to, like, you would want to grind like for 3 months, complete all the events, and how do you get coins? You get them from events. So the PvP events, this is where you're getting coins and skill tokens. So this is what you're actually playing for. And co-op is very fun mode when you can play with friends. You need to add them as friend or like send them an invitation code, and all of this is done through this tab. As you can see, the friends tab is very easy and accessible. On console, you need to add them using your PSN number, I think, and PSN login account name. And yeah, so this is where you complete this once you get coins. You also can play divisions, which is something that I kind of like reluctantly play to experiment, but I kind of like lose my interest in that, since I'm not doing this full time. I'm not getting paid for like grinding this non-stop, and you need to like 20, 30, 40 games to get to Division 1 if you're really good. If you're struggling, it will be even more than that. So I don't know. I mean, the game is just getting you connected with someone. It takes like 5 minutes, and then they are setting up their team. That's additional like 2-3 minutes. They pause during the break, so sometimes on console especially, it takes me 30 minutes to finish one game. And if the opponent is playing like a jerk, I just don't really feel like I'm having a good quality time there, you know? So this is where there's also My League, where you actually play where more relaxed setting against AI. You can set the difficulty for AI, and this pretty much you're playing a full championship scenario. So yeah, this is where I think you can play quick match, not really worth it exhibition. Also, you're playing against AI. And the events that I suggest you doing is event PvP or event versus AI, and you will be good, I think. And this is where I think we can talk about the progression of the players. So my team, players, and this is where I think we can train a player. So before, I'm not going to be training this one just because I don't have a lot of trainers. Level training, and you auto-select, and the game just decides to train, use the items for you. And now I don't even have enough of trainers to train him to the max, which is something that you want to get. 27 levels, you get the trainers by completing events, by completing the match pass as well. And match pass is completed by playing a game. Play a game, you get a reward from the match pass. And after you've done that, you go to that player and you improve his overall rating. Like for instance, we trained Frankie de Jong. And let's train him to my taste and show you how the player progression now tab is active. And it always was, but this is where you can either action recommend it, which is nice. Look, if Konami is recommending you something, that means that you should be getting decent experience from the game. But sometimes you feel like you're using this de Jong like more attack and roll, you don't need these defensive points. So you downgrade them and you try to play around something else. So I think for one, this player with auto-allocating is actually very solid. And if I were to improve him, I would be improving his balance maybe, so that he can actually, I don't know, escape tackles easily, in addition to the overpowered dribbling stats. I would be downgrading his passing. I don't think that low pass 95, and you're also getting a boost from the manager. I'm going to be showing you that in a second. I think it's a little bit overkill, so I'll downgrade his passing to like, it's going to be 90 low pass, loaded pass 90, 89 with the merge boost. I'll show you how it works. And yeah, I can use these points now to improve something like I can downgrade a little bit of dribbling, and you will see that the boost is going to be improving that to at least 90. And I can now use these points in his acceleration, improving his acceleration and balance by giving him a little bit of these points, at least 88 balance now. And in fact, I would like to get it higher. Yeah, we can now get 90 balance on this card. And now that I'm very satisfied with his speed, with his balance, I'm fine with his dribbling and passing. I think what we can improve, since it's like a central in position midfielder, I can improve either his physicality or defending. And looking at his physicality, it's very bad. I can give him a few points to that. So at least it's now 67. Or I can really disregard it and start improving his defending to make him even better at defending. So this can be a very nice build on Frankie. We go back, we can see that his overall has improved. And now I'm going to be showing you why exactly that build was making so much sense. Just because I think when you get in the stat to 90, you get a different color. No, it's still a mystery. People, when they train the cards, they still like do that to their own taste and preference. You play as many games as possible and you make your own conclusions. And then I can sort by, yeah, it's order of signing. And I recently signed that because it's a Messi pack card. And I can now put him into my team. And for instance, I want to put him instead of this card of Cancelo. And now Frankie de Jong can be playing as a center midfielder. And now look at him. He's not 94 rated card anymore. He's 99. Why? Because my manager has 88 proficiency. Currently, 88 proficiency is what you want from your manager. There may be an 89 and 90 proficiency manager, which is going to be probably boosting your overall and your player stats to a higher extent. But as it stands, 88 proficiency is what you want. And this manager is nice just because during the game or at any point, I can change his proficiency from possession to out wide and still keep the same boost. And look at the boost. It's not only boosting the overall of the players, it's also boosting their stats. So all of the stats that we trained to 87 are now boosted by 3 points. So starting from 87, you are getting that 3 points boost. If the dribbling stat was 86, I would be only getting 2 points boost. Wait a minute, it's from 85, yeah. So if the dribbling stat was 84, I would only be getting 2 points boost. When the dribbling stats or any stat for that matter is 85, I'm getting 3 points boost. And just because I trained his dribbling to 87, it now, because of the manager boost, I'm getting 3 points. And boosts are very complicated. I may be making a different video about that, but I'm gonna be showing you how to train a card with double booster in a second. So you can see that his defense awareness is kinda mid. I can be working on that and improving that, but I like his passing now. And in fact, I can downgrade it slightly to get his low pass to 90. And I now can use some of these points that I saved to improve his defense ever so slightly. Engagement or awareness to 90 or to 80 would be decent, but you see that this card is very pacey and has 19 balance, so he's easily to dribble with. Not only his dribbling is good, but you see his stats are great, and you can give additional skills to him by either gambling, like adding these skills by randomly, and you need to get these skill tokens by completing the events, or getting into Division 1 or Division 2, you're gonna be getting, or Division 3 in fact too, you're gonna be getting some skill tokens. So this is where you will be given Frankie de Jong, I think, legacy transfer. You need to have 200,000 GPs, sometimes more, sometimes less, depends on the player that you're carrying over onto him. And this is where you're carrying over like a skill that is man marking, if you want to. And why did they have man marking on a random 0 GP player? It's another way to actually like smartly attribute the skills that are important. Because for instance, you're getting a skill that already was on that De Jong, like for instance, double touch, nice dribbling skill. And just because they already had that skill, it's just gonna be disappearing. You're wasting a skill token, and you could have added the double touch to a player that you wanted if you were smart about that. So what you do, you go to contract and you sign a standard player, like Raquel Lombardi, for instance, my personal favorite, Lombardinho, and we sign him. What's good about this player is just he used to give me very good skills previously, and he still does, and he doesn't have any skills at all. 0 skills on this player by default, so you can't really repeat that. And if you go to skill training, you can see that he has no skills, and the skill that you're about to give to him is gonna be with that player forever. And then if it's a defensive skill, you give it to your defender. If it's an attacking skill, you give it to your attacker. Makes a lot of sense, but you need a lot of GPs for that. That's why I'm so low on GP all the time. How do you get GP? How do you get a lot of other items? You discard the players that you don't like. You also complete the events. For instance, I don't like this Valde. I discard him. And because it is a 5-star player, you're getting booster token items. And this is interesting. This is a new addition to eFootball, and you're also getting some trainers, you're getting some GPs. And in fact, I'm very close to discarding this Valde, but I may keep him just for the banter. And I discarded a lot of players, and I still almost at my quota, 495 players, and I'm after 55 more. I need to improve that. In order to improve that, you need to click on development. I think this is add, yeah. Click on add 50 player slots for 500,000 GPs. I'm good for now. Thank you so much. And when you're getting these booster token items from events, from Match Pass, you can now improve your double booster players, which is a new thing in this game. Like for instance, I improved my Ribery. You can check out my Ribery like review on my channel. This is called Booster Crafting, additional tab now for the player. And this is where I've gave him Striker's Instinct by default. How exactly? You have these 10 tokens, random tokens, right? By just completing missions, logging in, and this is where Konami decides for you, and it can be a goalkeeper's booster, right? Or anything that is making absolutely no sense for a player. Or by discarding players or completing some missions, you're getting the booster on the left side, which are a guaranteed change or to an additional booster of your choice. And this booster is improving 4 stats by 1 point. And depending on the name, you can check how the players look like, and then you can even retrain the player based off the additional booster that you added. The idea is to apply a booster that just makes sure that the stats are improved, that take a lot of training points as is. Like for instance, if I were to improve this Frank Ribery with a booster, I would want to improve something that is improving his dribbling, because as you can see, these dribbling points are very expensive. So for instance, I'm improving shooting, as you can see, 1 point to shooting is improving 1 shooting ability. Over here, in order to improve 1 ability and improve 1 point to dribbling, I need to use 3 progression points. So it becomes expensive the more you train that given ability, given skill. So I would say that any booster that improves his dribbling, so that I can deduct this point, right? and then use these 3 points elsewhere to improve this card is a good idea. So this is how you train players. And I think, like, look, if you want some custom builds, I'm making every week, Konami is releasing new players, I'm making these on my channel, and I have a certain separate video on all of the builds of my players. If you want to copy that, go ahead. There is also this special event called Skill Up, and this is where Konami is teaching you actually the basics of the game, how you are dribbling, how you're scoring goals, how you're passing, and giving you some nice cards in return, and also some coins, some nominating contracts and trainers. So this is a you must complete it. Just there is no point to skip it, and it's easy, it's nice, and also like a tutorial for you how to use the cards, in online games or offline games. Match Pass. This is where I already completed mine, and I didn't buy mine, and I think there is no point doing that if you are after the cards, right? These cards are good, but trust me, there is so many good laughing forwards in the game that the game is giving you for free that you don't really need to get the Skinsley command unless you're like a personal fan and like really wanted that. So these cards are usually not worth it, even though according to stats they're impressive. You will be getting so many different cards, and this game is just so nice just because you can get a card of Gnonto, a Leeds player in the 2nd English division, who will be just as good as Prime Neymar when on Blue Arrow. So this is, and much faster for sure. So this is where I think this game just gives you so many cards, and it's your preference. What are you using? You don't need to go out of your way to sign a certain player. This game is just like that. So every player, they are so similar. You can play with a team full of like Western players and still dominate. Just because you see this Paqueta, he's just like Prime Ronaldinho. You can check his stats, he's just insane. And yeah, so this is also nice just because if you're buying any of these match passes and you have that discount, which I had previously, and there was like an insane player inside, like Saliba for instance, that is the only reason why you would want to do that. Also, you're getting some coins back after you buying these, but like 200-300 coins, and you're getting much more items, right? So you're getting the entire second row or third row, depending on the match pass that you bought. You're not getting the second one, you're buying the premium one. You're only getting the premium match pass, and the second one will be locked still. So yeah, it's nice if you need trainers, but I would be probably skipping most of the time. So this is pretty much it. I think I haven't missed anything. Obviously, there are some coin deals. Oh no, this is nice. So there are coin deals, which I think you can go for. This is insane deal, just because you're getting a guaranteed Apple double epic booster card of Pep Guardiola, a rare card that I think wasn't even released before. Yeah, it wasn't, and I don't think it's gonna be ever released. And you're getting 50 coins in return for spending just $1. This David Villa, sorry, not Silva, is nice. You're getting some nice cards. Ruben Diaz can be easily your starting defender. It's a nice deal. It's a nice starter pack. I'm not even sure as a beginner I would be signing these, just because I mean, maybe as a beginner I would, but currently I checked their stats. They're good, but not overpowered. And you of course can buy coins, but I mean, depending on your preferences. And there is eFootball points, another currency that is just like somehow displayed separately. And this is where I would not be spending these. Is a bad value unless they are expiring. So this is the only currency that will be expiring. And you can see on the details, my 9,000 eFootball points will expire in 30 days. So I'm fine for now. But if I see a player here, which I'm trying to sign this Vinicius Jr., and I can't just because there are some problems, you need to connect your Konami ID. And when doing that, by the way, you're getting some rewards from Konami. So that means that you need to create your account on Konami's website. Konami will be showing you how to do that when you click on these eFootball points or somewhere in the help menus. And this is important just because it's easier then to sign these players later down the line. And you can also use this amount. This is the only thing that eFootball on console and on mobile are kind of like related between each other. You can spend the eFootball points that you have here in the game on console. So this is how I signed very nice beginner like squads in the Prem, in the I think in Spanish league, just by signing these players from eFootball points. These are rarely added, and the fact that they added such a good player as Vinicius here, this is a rare occasion, so I would recommend you signing this Vini just because he's very good. I made a video recently, I shown you the training, it's a very, very solid card. And yeah, these strips, I think they are not worth it usually, unless there are some overpowered strip. And they are adding strips and some other items in packs tab. So this is where I signed Messi, and I just signed him so that I can review him, and I really wanted a free-to-play Messi for my team. And I thought that since it's an ambassador card, maybe he'll be performing well, maybe he's not going to be nerfed like other cards. And he performs well for me, so I recommend you maybe saving coins. And this is nice just because you have 300 days left. Konami gives you 300 coins alone this week. You can complete events every week, you get like 100, 150 coins for that. You get some coins for login too sometimes. So you can be getting this Messi by just free to play in the game, completing the events in maybe 1 or 2 months. Or you can buy 1500 coins outright, and there are some coin sale deals which will eventually end up costing you like $5, maybe if you add the coins that Konami gave you, maybe 5, maybe more than that slightly. So this is a great deal. Getting also additionally 10 players, which not all of them are usable, but some are great, like we've seen already De Jong there. Neymar, another similar deal. Managers, this is where I think for the managers, if you like to play possession, this De La Fuente is absolutely not needed. What you do is you actually want to get 88 proficiency manager, whatever it takes. So this is the most important part when you're building a team. I would want to reiterate on that, and you are getting this Luis A. Roman, which I already signed. And this is the only 88 proficiency manager out inside the entire game, and it is still available. Sign him and you can play possession with him. The benefit of getting the premium managers is that you're getting additional boost to your team with the, for instance, Del Fuente, that is boost to acceleration. As you can see, his booster acceleration, every player in your team gets 1 point to acceleration. And I actually changed the way I train my players, keeping in mind that I'm going to be using them either in Xabi Alonso, who is also getting a boost to acceleration, a manager that is expired right now. Or this Stojkovic, I think he's also a quick counter manager, and I think he's getting acceleration boost as well. Oh no, kicking power. So this is slightly worse just because it's not that important in general, but it's still nice. So this is where Fernando Torres pack is also very tempting. Now this is a nice card. He's quite tall, can be winning headers for you. He's okay at dribbling. You can get him to 90 balance, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, and his kicking power is also decent, like 90. So this can be a very interesting card, and I have absolutely nothing should stop you from saving coins and getting him. Besides, like I said, 300 coins you're getting this week only. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Nominating contracts, look, you're getting them from the match pass and some other events, and this is where you're signing overpowered players, and this is where I was saying that you don't need to go and out of your way and get a better match pass or get a premium player by just spending coins. This game is extremely rewarding in this regard. Obviously, when you're playing on the top level and you like grinding divisions, you may be like a little bit interested in building like full boosted team, full double booster, new legendary team, and these players may not suffice. But this is nice just because this pack is so fun. This Ter Stegen has a skill called double touch when you play like heel to heel, croqueta, and stones as well. And I had a stones card from English pack, and I just realized that they are very similar, and just these stones has alone additionally better dribbling stats. So when trying, he has like 80 dribbling, which is rare for a center back, and just like a fun card to have. And yeah, you can easily, like if you have this nomination contracts, you can sign them. Another item that is expiring, by the way, and you're gonna be getting a message prompting you to use that. Like mine is expiring, I think next month, very soon. So I need to use a 3-star nominating contract because I have 4 of them and one is expiring. So like I said, you can build an insane team, and in fact, if I were to go and build a team that is just by logging in and the players that Konami gave you from the new campaigns, this would be the team. So this would be Balde on the left, this would be Ribery from the penalty challenge. You get this by just completing the first lap. You can miss all your penalties, and in 10 days you'll get this Ribery. It's insane. I signed the stones, I signed some of these goalkeepers just because I bought the Messi pack. I have this De Jong, and I can have McAllister, and I can have these players were given for free, but they're overpowered. Like this defender is insane for what it's worth. You have this winger. I checked his stats. He's crazy as well. And yes, these Corinthians, Palmeiras, players, they were given for free. They're great. Also, you have Ter Stegen. I sent him his nominating contract. I can play him. And the Messi card you're getting for free, by the way, as well. You just go join the Just play the game, open the game, and you get in a free pack. This is a free pack Messi, man. You don't even need to buy the new Messi. So, but if you buy, you get the other one, right? But this double booster Messi is also very solid. Look at the stats. This is with the additional second booster. You get Messi with great dribbling, great passing, great finishing. And in fact, I think the problem is that this manager is bad. So let's change the manager so that it gives me the best boost. Look at this. Player details. You're getting... oh no, we need to change the playstyle also. Right? You see, this is important. Change the playstyle to possession, just because it's Lifuente. And look at this. You're getting everything in 90, attacking awareness 90, dribbling 90, low pass 90, curl 93. He's not pacey, that's the only downside. He's great balance, great acceleration. You don't really need to sign the premium Messi, and this is a free card. Also, you get a Vini card. Let's keep this one, but just because simply I couldn't sign the Vini card from the match points that for eFootball points, it's just like not active. You're getting another left midfielder. Let's actually try to evade. Yeah, let's not use the cards that are now from the Messi pack. Let's imagine you're not buying the Messi pack. So yeah, this is Hurricane. Yeah, I mean, this is already a little bit usable. Look, I was lucky to get Yamal. But, I mean, maybe you weren't that lucky, you never know. So this is a very solid team. Obviously, it will suck just because you don't have good destroyer or anchorman like Rodri or like Casemiro, who's going to be holding that spot. But I've noticed people were playing like, I don't know, Bernardo Silva as their defensive midfielder, and I was struggling to beat them. Was it my skill issue, or was it just because the game still balances somehow the gameplay out so that you can't really beat someone like really convincingly? The game will be giving them chances. The game will be giving opponents deflections. It may be really annoying. So if you are you are like someone who believes in S word, and S word is scripting, of course, you may be a little bit annoyed with the way the game is being played, but it is what it is. So this is the beginner guide. Now you know that you need to complete the AI ones every Monday and Thursday, and you can get the best of the game. And look, this is the team. I was very loyal to the game. I opened this almost every day just because I'm running a channel, so I kind of like, I'm interested, I'm invested a little bit. But I built this team, and most of these players are from the past year. So for 1 year, that's a fantastic team. And besides, like I said, like 3-4 players from this team were signed this season alone. Maybe not really like that. Yeah. So this is where I think it's time to end the video. It's a long one, but I'm gonna be giving you some chapters so that, I mean, by the time you're watching it, you already know that there are chapters. Yeah, if you enjoyed this one, drop a like, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe to. Let's get this channel subscribed to. Peace.